mean, it doesn't, because normally you'd be out of the tournament. While you're in loser's bracket, you're not even eliminated. You're back in the winner's bracket, friend, for losing. So you really get to try anything you want for free, for the most part. And if it works, hey, I found something for the tournament. Then you get your loss. So somebody loses twice, and then they get to lose twice, and then go into a tournament. I mean, I wouldn't be so mad. It wouldn't be so bad if they didn't make you play out the grand finals. If they basically said you're in the winners, you're in the losers, one loss gets reset. If I beat somebody twice, bitch, you are eliminated. I do not expect to see you again later. I do not want to see that. And also, the next thing is, one of the funny things about tournaments is, there are times where you just have somebody you just don't want to play. You just hate fighting that person. And everyone goes through it in every fighting game. And when you see them lose prematurely getting to you, it's like, thank God they got put in the loser's bag. I don't have to deal with that person. With devastation, it's devastation. It's like, oh, you won your bracket? He's in losers? Guess what? He gets his loss taken away, and he gets to play you because he's a loser, and he plays the winner. You're like, let me get this straight. He's rewarded for losing. And he got his loss taken away. I'm playing someone I don't want to play, and they've lost the loss? No! I don't want to do that. And that's basically what devastation was. If they want to take away the loss, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But don't make you play out the grand finals and have somebody lose twice and then still get put in the winner's bracket. That is, man, everyone that lost twice should have been eliminated. They should have just ran a fucking four-man bracket. Period.
Yeah, it's... The guy that got second lost 3 times. How weird is that? I lost twice.
4 times.
Yeah, right. I lost twice. He lost 4 times. Now, look, in his case, he was playing so well on Sunday that he might have easily came home through losers.
Yeah, no one is saying that. No,
right,
no one is saying that.
Yeah, and I had to play B-Wiz 3 different sets in one tournament.
Same with me.
Very fucked up.
How many times do you have to play someone, and it just didn't make any sense. I feel like if they were going to take away the loss, then you shouldn't have to play a grand finals. Whoever is in losers goes, they do the same that way. They shouldn't have to, if somebody loses twice in pools, they're done. They should have just said, okay, we're gonna do a top 4 then and run it that way. You lose twice in pools, you're eliminated. Period. I mean, I can't condone someone losing twice in pool play, and it's not even the fault of the players. They just went by the rules.
Oh, right, yeah, absolutely.
Because someone's going to be like, oh, you're criticizing Mr. Molina, or
no, absolutely not,
or B-Wiz, or no, or not, or Morty. No, I'm not. I'm just saying they went by the rules of the tournament. I mean, but basically, either way, Mr. Molina, he, Morty Seinfeld, B-Wiz, all those guys, Marvez, they were still top 2 in pools. Even without the grand finals. If they didn't play it out, they were still top 2. They could have just run a top 8 that way. So by all intents and purposes, by normal tournament standards, they were still in the top 8. So,
right.
But to have them lose to have someone lose twice and still get to the top is wrong. No, you can't lose twice and then be put back into the winner's bracket. There's something wrong with that, in my opinion. And I know Dr. Dog, he's a good friend of mine. I know he doesn't share my point of view. But that's just un-American, man. I mean,
well, I mean, I think if he was here, I talked to him about it, and he, their argument was that it's for the stream, that the stream got to see more matches. But
yeah.
I don't buy that. The integrity of the tournament is more important than giving the stream more matches.
Yeah, for sure.
And the stream, they know the rules. Top
right.
2 pools go. They don't need to see you play. It happens in every tournament, and nobody
right.
complains. Oh, make them play. It's pointless.
Who cares about the stream? That's like the worst excuse ever.
Because, dude, what if the loser beats the winner 2 sets? Oh, now the loser goes.
No one's
to
gonna watch the stream if the fucking tournament's fucking whacked out.
Slips, think of how dumb this is, Slips. Even if traditional tournaments were to say, well, the pool finals, let's got to play each other, and then whoever wins the pool finals goes into the winners. Bitch, even if the loser wins, we both have lost. We should both be in the loser's bracket. I don't, you can't have somebody physically lose and put them back in the winner's bracket. You damn sure can't have someone lose twice.
Losing should mean something.
I agree. Because like in Mr. Molina's case, he played very well on Friday, obviously, but he played tremendously on Sunday. He was really on point Sunday, But
Yeah.
he didn't have to suffer that loss. You know, he lost to Detroit. He should have had that handicap, and he didn't.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre format.
Yeah, it would have been a harder road because he would have had to gone through other losers. How do you know he could have?
Exactly.
What if he couldn't beat Morty Seinfeld and he lost, right? He didn't have to fight Morty Seinfeld. Do you know why he didn't have to fight Morty Seinfeld? Because of the way it was set up. You know, and like I said, I felt Morty played extremely well. I felt Mr. Molina played extremely well, and I'm not going to argue that they would or would not have placed that way otherwise.
You know,
all I'm saying,
it was a good top 8 anyway. You know, we're lucky.
It was a good top 8. All I'm saying is that a loss is a loss. You know, think about how the pool format worked. Aris had to play Rio in his mini pool finals. If he'd have beat Rio 2 sets, he would have then had to beat Morty Seinfeld 2 sets. And myself and 16-bit on their microphone going, if Aris wins that, he has to beat 2 people 2 sets. Beating one person 2 sets is exhausting. In a regular tournament, having to go through it twice in pools, and then going into the top 8 the next day, dude, that's a lot of exhausting tournament play, to having to beat 2 good players 2 sets in a row, back to back. Fuck that. I saw that. I was like, I would be like, dude, I gotta beat Rio 2 sets, then I gotta beat Morty Seinfeld 2 sets. Man, I'm out. You know, free entry. You know, it's just that was ridiculous. And me and 16-bit are sitting on the stream going, if Aris has to beat 2 people 2 sets, this will be the most ridiculous thing we have ever seen. You know, we're sitting there. And I just think the format was, I mean, I like Devastation. I like Dr. Law. God knows I had a good experience. Thank you, Runway Mafia, for, you know, stuff.
That was a fun tournament because of the community.
Yeah, it was a fun tournament for the community and other stuff. But you know, I would say the actual bracket, you had people watching the stream just going, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, they were like, who's in, who's out? Isn't he out? Didn't we just see him play? The best part of the tournament stream for me was myself and 16-bit calling Crawling Shadow Bryce.
So Bryce is right.
And then when he was losing, we were like, he needs to change his name and go back to Bryce from Crawling Shadow, because this Crawling Shadow guy just isn't getting it done. You know, to the point that I think he changed his name to the Bryce is right.
It is.
You know,
his stream, he's banking on it.
Yeah, he calls himself Bryce now.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not even Bryce. He's calling himself someone else's name.
Can you imagine how the real Bryce must feel?
Yeah. Oh, wow, man. So, I mean, the Devastation tournament was good, but the format was just like all. It was kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
Hey Tom, tell us about the chick on your lap.
She was a you know, ironically, she was a nice girl. You know, a lot of people were like, "Oh, she's a party girl, huh, Tom?" And I was like, "No, she was." Samantha is one of those girls that I need to stay away from at tournaments, because the problem with a girl like that girl is what I like to call Tom Brady kryptonite, or as Perfect Legend calls it, Tom Brady kryptonite. She's a nice, cute, nice smile blonde who's petite. And that is oftentimes known as Tom Brady. If anyone's seen any of the girls I've ever been with, they all look just like that. So it's the problem with a girl like that is you end up liking a girl like that. So you got to be like, okay, for what? You know, I'm not going to move to wherever, right? You know, so whatever. But you know, I actually, that's a girl that I would actually end up liking. You know, so I need to stay away from girls like that for forever.
Have you seen that picture of Wonder Chef sitting next to you guys?
That was funny actually, because I didn't know she was going to come on stream, and she came on the stream, and you know, Wonder Chef was like, "Hi, who's your friend?" You know, and when she was on the stream, I was like, "Oh," it was on Twitter. People were putting a picture up like, "Is this Tom Brady's girlfriend?" Some AU guys were taking pictures of us and being like, "We're going to auction them off on the AU website." You know,
I'm confused. Who is this girl? Like, it's just some random girl?
No, it was a friend of Runway Mafia's that brought her up there, and
The Runaway Mafia is a person?
yeah, Runway Mafia, not Runaway Mafia. What's funny is on the stream they had him as Runaway Mafia, and he's a katana player, and he was being aggressive, and I was like, Runaway Mafia, refusing to run away here. I don't know why he calls himself. But then later he was like, no, it's
So it was someone else's girl?
No, Runway Mafia does not like